Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com, your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me for pricing at tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Back in 2007, Breitling launched a watch that would become the franchise, the Superocean Heritage. Large, as all Breitlings were back then, it was nevertheless more heritage-inspired than the standard Superocean and drew its styling cues from the original 1957 reference 1004 Breitling Superocean, the company's first dive watch. Well, the Superocean Heritage became the company's best-selling model line, and what we have here is a debut from the 2018 model year, which is the Superocean Heritage 244. So 44 millimeters in diameter and a combination of rose gold and stainless steel. This is much larger than the 1957 original, but it is persuasive in its details and its spirit and its ambiance. 44 in diameter, it measures a reasonably broad 54.2 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip. We're not in IWC big pilot territory, but we're getting there. 14.6 millimeters thick, and it has a 22 millimeter spacing between the lugs. Now, I personally prefer the Superocean Heritage 42. The 44, again, which came out in 2018, was larger than the 42, but smaller than the 46. And for a lot of folks who still think of Breitling as a big, boisterous sports watch, this is going to be the sweet spot between the elephantitis of the 2000 and 2010s and the more refined look and feel of the Georges Kern era, which is the current era right now. It is low enough to fit underneath a jacket cuff, but what we have here is a broad watch that needs a wrist of at least 17 centimeters circumference to fit right. Taking a quick look at the strap, it's a fusion of rubber and leather, medium rectangular scale alligator leather, matte black, monotone stitch, lots of rubber. On the bottom you can see there's a hollow on the underside, which makes the strap more flexible, but also vents the wrist pretty well on a hot day. That is symmetrical on both sides. We have Breitling's best clasp. You can see it is a single fold deployant, polished externally. It has twin trigger release, so not the clamshell we're used to on many Breitlings. This is a little bit more sophisticated. We also have a push button slider that allows you to make incremental adjustments to the fit of the watch. So you do cut the strap to length to fit you, but you have a little bit of adjustability and tailorability built in. You can adjust a little bit, you can adjust a lot, all the way in or all the way out. It's basically your dive extension and your fit adjustment all in one. We have a screw down crown. The watch has a water resistance of 200 meters. This being a Superocean, it has these sharp stepped angular lugs. They're not blended into the case band. They break out rather dramatically, and they have a huge thrusting angular appearance. The watch includes no crown guard because this is again true to the 1950s original, which did not have crown guards. We have a bezel that's updated over the original Superocean Heritage. This is part of the second generation of Superocean Heritage. So you get a bezel with a little luminescent pearl inset. For some reason, the original Superocean Heritage did not have a lumed bezel, which compromised its utility as a diving watch. Here, no such problem. We'll do a lume shot real quick and take a look. The watch has plenty of presence at night. You can see the hands and the bezel are quite distinct. Taking a quick look at the bezel itself, in profile, you'll note that there are little screws on the side of the bezel. It's got a polished knurling with satin recesses. Those screws are used to fix the bezel to the case, and this is called a captive bezel. It's what you'll find on Zinn watches, for example. It prevents the bezel from being snapped off by impact. That can happen on a Rolex or an Omega. It can't happen here. The bezel needs to be disassembled for removal. Another change compared to the original Superocean Heritage is that we have a ceramic insert within the bezel, so it's resistant to scratching in a way that the previous anodized aluminum insert was not. The bezel has a nice crisp 120 click action, so you really feel it. And then we have a dial in matte black with rose gold plated steel indices, rose gold plated steel hands. We have a vintage inspired broad arrow hour hand, and the timepiece features a bezel with calibrations that are not numbered. So this again is true to history. We would not have had numbers on the bezel. The watch includes the new Breitling logo without wings because Georges Kern, the current CEO of Breitling, wants you to think of them as a land, sea, and air sports company, not just aviation. Let me get that date in the frame right there. The watch has a stop seconds function if you want to set everything, and of course it has the quick set system. It also has a Tudor movement internally. Breitling caliber B20 is basically a Tudor MT56 series. So this specifically is what you will find in the Pelagos. It's the MT5612 automatic winding with bidirectional action, 70-hour power reserve, stop seconds, quick set, 8 beats per second, 28 joules, COSC chronometer certified, and has a full balance bridge with a free sprung balance, so it's very, very shock tolerant. This is a watch that has a lot to offer. A watch that has a reasonable amount of technical sophistication, a lot of wrist presence, and frankly also excellent value, as in the modern era, the Rolex Submariner has now become a reliably 5-figure watch. And right here we have a Rolex Tudor movement and a watch with plenty of style, as Breitling has never lacked for presence or heritage. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.